shining a beacon on the bazaar. Well, show us where you found it, Archie.
Down here, it's down this rocky little pathway.
Okay, let's
Go
go
on,
down
a bit
that.
further. Well, is it? Yeah, it is. It's down here, definitely. Loads of it, man.
Wow, there's more sheep's bones down here as well.
Oh, what the fuck is it?
Oh, this is awful. Whereabouts?
There, look at all that. Look at it.
Oh my God! Look
Smell
at
it.
This. What is it? Oh, it's got an awful musk. This proves it. This
It's
proves
gotta
it. It's true. This is sign that the beast of the cove is back.
Oh my God, it's been years.
Oh, look at this. This is a fur. Look at the thick, wiry, scraggly,
all
filthy fur.
Do you remember, like, back in the day when old men used to have, like, that brill creamed hair? It was white, yellow hair. You know, like, white yellowness
that's
of it.
awful, yeah. Like me smoking fags through it all that time, yeah.
Through it.
Like, you like your hair?
I vape. Fuck you. God, it stinks of piss as well. Is that musk or piss?
Smell that musk. No, this is the raw animal musk of the beast. This is very important.
Yeah?
Yeah, you got to recognise that smell.
Now we have another
It's yeasty.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Sniff it in. Get it deep. There. That's the wild musk of the beast of the cove.
Can't smell any more. My eyes are watering. It's like
Yeah.
fucking gone oniony now. I don't know
And
what that.
this is terrible. I mean, it's been a few years since it's been around now, but now this is proof positive. The first time proof positive. We have evidence here. We can take samples of this from the DNA of what the beast is going to be. Wow. This is groundbreaking research we're doing here. This is proper cryptozoology.
Could we be famous?
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Go on, then. Yeah, we'll be famous.
Let's be famous.
Okay.
Make a change.
Yeah, but you know. What's Pete doing over there? Why has he not got any trousers on?
What's in his hands? What's he doing with that razor? Pete, what are you doing, you mucky old... Well, I didn't say it, did I? You mucky old weasel.
Right, what? Oh, you dirty bastard.
What did he say?
He says he's shaving his bollocks.
Oh, fucking hell! That's his plebs!
I'm going to say plebs as well. These are his look, they're about a foot long.
Oh, I've been smelling these smellies in me now.
You know, fight. You
Oh,
could
it
scour
reeks.
pans with that, couldn't
Oh, that is disgusting. Clean your oven with it. Oh, why are you doing it here, you dirty get?
Because it's fucking funny. You barnacle fucking reacting so full of oxygen. Funky.
Oh, well, that explains it, doesn't it? Hey, go on. Fuck off.
Fuck off, Pete.
Right, that's better, is that?
He's off
But
on.
to be fair, though, now we've got rid of the wiry sort of puby nastinesses. And there's a few sheep's bones, but there always is around on Cracking Cove, that's part of it, right? But we're overlooking the sea here. It's not a bad little spot.
I'm going to have to go down and wash my hands. See, I keep
Yeah, that's right. We'll do that in a minute, because first of all, we need to say, this is Cracking Cove, the podcast that shines a beacon on the bazaar.
It is, and we're back.
Yeah.
We're fucking back.
Hi, Matt.
I'm Benny.
Yep, so we finally made it back. So sorry we've been away for a couple of weeks. I've been very, very busy.
You're always very busy.
Benny's been working really hard on his golf game.
I'm fucking pro, baby. I'm B-level pro. Find me on Switch. I play online. I'm called Hey Benny. I've got a gold fucking golfing suit and everything, man. I'm doing really well.
To respond to one of the listeners when they were asking, why can't Benny do the show on his own, right? So when I'm busy, why can't he do it with Pete?
Imagine them, mate.
Imagine the best. So Benny's busy as well.
I've got to keep my A game. Fucking hell.
Here for arsehole.
Oh, you should see it, mate. Majestic.
Oh, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
alright,
I
thanks.
love
But
it.
you know, you're enjoying it, though.
I do. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy
And
it.
that's what we need. We all need a little bit of enjoyment in our lives. It might be listening to Crack and Cove. It might be playing a little bit of Wii Golf. It might be recording and editing Crack and Cove over 13 to 14 hours in a week. You know, however you chill out.
Get a few baths in there. Good hour and a half baths to squeeze into my
I can't
busy
the last time I
schedule.
went to bath.
I fucking love baths.
I know you do.
Steady on that, kid.
Fucking Nora. Right, better get casting knackers.
You best.
So rolling on from that shocking kind of evidence we've just found there.
Of the Puebby kind.
Of the Puebby kind, yeah. So the first boat out of the harbour today, our kid, it is the fact that new evidence confirms the presence of big cats in the UK.
I knew it.
You fucking, but to be fair, you've always been stuck by this.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
all seriousness, you've always said, like, you know, that you believed, you know, there is big cats.
Especially last year, you had that brilliant footage, didn't you? Remember that one you had?
Yeah.
That one in field. That
Yeah,
one mental.
good stuff for that field,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a few people since then have actually pointed out a few discrepancies with it, and I kind of think, yeah, fair enough. You know what I mean? And also, do you remember the crocodilians off the coast of Alhambra? Yeah, a mate of ours, Jim. He's very into cryptozoology, and he actually looked at that as well. And he's shown me angles of it, or explained angles to that, and it basically explains the seals and why they are seals.
All right. Like you said, though, they couldn't live in them waters.
They couldn't live in the water. No, it won't be occurring. Things like that.
It's
right,
just
you know.
cool.
It is really cool, but I think, you know, like I say, you've always stuck with the idea of, like, I've always believed it. I always believe there is something happening. At the same time, I've always argued the idea that big cats living in the UK. All right, there's lots of sightings, but there's not much evidence. It's not like you find a skull of a panther anywhere.
Yeah,
it hasn't
true.
happened yet.
Yeah,
You've not found those kind of remnants, which you do need. Oh, roadkill is a great one. You'd imagine by now, like a big old cattle being hit. Hasn't happened again. This is part of my thinking is somehow this might be a remnant animal of like a pan-dimensional kind of.
I know that's what I were
yeah.
thinking with it. You know, I mean, it ain't just the idea of the when was that act when everybody threw out fucking wildlife
so the
in
1970s, yeah. The ink garden. Off you go.
with boa snakes out, toilet and shit.
People doing
wasn't
shit like that. But yeah, that's right. There was Wildlife Act in the UK came in. I think it was in something like 1970s. I think also to do with chimp ownership as well. But
Were it?
It might have been. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, people basically had things like lynx, black panthers. They had all sorts of exotic pairs, and the British sort of government decided, you know, you can't keep these animals anymore. Rightly so as well. But then they said basically what they're going to do with these wonderful animals, they're just going to destroy them.
Wow.
They're just, oh well, we'll take these, we'll put them all down.
Yeah, bring them here and we'll gas them.
Yeah, sort of thing. And you think, it's like, but people sort of like, I don't want that to happen. It's beautiful. Run free, my way. I mean, whoever in the right mind, in their head, releases a fucking black panther into the
Imagine
wild.
stats if you had the true stats. You know, were they a monkey? Were they a chimp on the loose? You know what I mean?
know.
Black panther.
What I was thinking, was it Murders in the Rue Morgue?
Yes.
Which is the one where it's the gorilla.
Yeah, that's Murder in the Rue Morgue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, spoilers alert. 100-odd-year-old story, but you know.
Can't rate a gorilla.
It was something like that.
It was definitely an ape or a monkey.
And it was that sort of, but the idea of this sort of like an ape that was released back then, sort of living amongst us, sort of thing, you know.
Christ.
He could have got a job at our old factory, couldn't he? One of the managers. Done really well. He's on 60,000 a year now. But yeah, so it's like. But at the same time, because a lot of my favourite reports of big cats in the UK have always been the ones where they've had a physical impact. So there was one case, I think it was a guy pushing his bicycle along like a lane at one point, and a cat just basically by the side of a churchyard leapt out. It was startled, it was cornered, raked his stomach, clawed deep and fled. If it was truly somehow like a pan-dimensional beast or something which was flitting between the sort of like the then and now kind of thing, would it have a massive physical impact on this world? I don't know, but the fact it can leave its DNA shows it's not a ghost beast or something like that.
Yeah, he's an obvious mortal.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it, that one? He's above a Benny Station, is that one? Can't solve that one for you.
I was just hoping you'd speculate, but
Well over me head, is that?
if I had to answer a straight yes or no, I'd have to say I don't know.
I didn't really give him much stride. Nope, can't help you there.
Rolled over and showed his belly straight away. You know? Well, I'll keep going. Because I think for creatures to have survived, and perhaps it's just more of a case that we don't recognise how good the terrain that we have is for concealing creatures like that. And people have said before as well, like, oh, he's a highly built up area, you can't do this, you can't live there, you can't do it, he won't survive. Nature does survive. It gets by somehow.
And the green belts, even in busy urban areas, you've got some. England has got a mental amount of green belts and countryside. It's easy.
Yeah, well, I was talking to a neighbour earlier, and she was sort of saying about how on a different island, and she was sort of saying that how like she was worried about like rats in the garden. She was absolutely freaking out about rats being in the garden, getting in, and she said she worried that being kind of driven down from the countryside where there's some flood defences going on. I thought all that worked. I said, no, well, they won't be down at this area, with this wild area. That's not where rats live. Rats live near us because there's food near us, there's habitat, there's warmth. Everything a rat needs is right next door to us. And I think that's why we hate them so much, is because they're sort of like snuggled in, aren't they?
They're parasitic in a sense.
But in that same sort of way, this is why like foxes are getting so used to being urban, because everything they need is right by us. It's nearby. That like ours, it's cosy. Life is a little bit easier. This is why they walk in the streets of places now a lot more bolder, because there's nothing going to shoot them or hunt them. And perhaps the same can be said for the big cat. What is it that a big cat needs? It needs things, say, like sheep, lambs, things like that. Plenty. I mean, rather than hunting and stalking down like particular animals, we keep all our meat in big square fields with walls so they can't get out.
It's true.
It's just there. And rather than rampaging through the entire field and killing everything, what they're doing is they're taking a lamb, a sheep here and there, dragging it over the wall and running into the woods with it. And it just kind of goes missing most of the time. When you do get like a kill where people say, oh, went into the field and its guts were ripped open and its chest was exposed. And no, it's not happening an awful lot of that. More often than not, the kill has been taken and concealed elsewhere. And so it's just missing in action.
One sheep is down, which I bet that's quite a lot of stats. You put 100, the 100 lambs get born. There'll be loads getting disappeared, won't they?
That's it. And a full-grown sheep. You see what a panther of that size can actually take. They can haul something like that up a tree.
It's always a panther, isn't it? They're never like a lion or a cheetah or out like that, is it?
True, but there's a reason for that. There's probably 3 suspects we're going to have here for the bigger cats.
Alright.
There's a lot of smaller jungle cats, the class as. They need warmer temperatures and stuff, but they I think...
jungle cats?
There's lots of these smaller sort of like ones, which you can list loads of these little cats. But they're quite small, delicate. They're twice as big as a family cat, maybe 3 times as big, but they're still not massive.
Which cats are these? Jungle cats?
Yeah, these. Now, name-wise, I'm going to struggle here with a few of these. It's not caracal. I think it might be caracal, but there's a few. There's a few of these smaller spotted cats.
Alright, when you go to zoos, them little ones that you never heard of type.
That's the ones. That's it, okay.
I'm there.
But so I mean, without having a list on board now, but I think a few of those could probably survive. There's people actually keeping them as pets anyway. Very bad for wildlife because they're so good at hunting birds and things. Not a danger to sheep. Unless they might get a newborn lamb, perhaps, but they're not. The ones that you worry about is the lynx. Which is kind of the Eurasian or the American lynx. These like a lot in America it's called bobcat. I call that a class as a medium-sized cat. It's not, but it is a big cat. But it's a medium-sized cat. Stocky, powerful. Wouldn't kill a human. It's not a danger to us at all. Yeah. They're the lynx or the bobcat sort of size of thing. That's the sort of thing that should be released, I think, into the wild and used if we do rewilding.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's very, very important of our ecosystem to have something like that.
A fucking predator.
Yeah, we need predators really badly, you know. George Monbiot's book, Feral, highlights this very well. George Monbiot is a very controversial figure for a lot of people, but I think he speaks a lot of sense, and I do like him. He can be a bit of a guardianist, a pain in the arse at times, but his book Feral's very good. I highly recommend that as a read to people who are interested in rewilding and things. Makes you look at the Lake District in a completely different manner.
Does it?
Yeah, well, everyone talks about the lovely, wild, majestic hills of the lakes, you know. Where's all the trees? Where's all the forests in the lakes? The reforesting parts of the lakes now, and they're starting to do it. And the way they do that is to take out all the sheep.
Alright.
Because the sheep just clip everything down, or as George Monbiot calls them, white maggots.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in Highland sheep farming anyway. I think to myself, the sheep farm in the UK is nearly 100% subsidised. The government pays the sheep farmers to stay there, keep doing what they do.
Do they?
Yeah, they pay the sheep farmers so much.
I'm getting to despise farmers a bit.
Farmers get on my tits a bit, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, there's some good farmers, some great farmers, and some people who are really working towards doing a good job. There's a lot of time farmers that can be because they get very set in the ways of what they're doing and where they are. They think, this land is mine, I own this land, get off my land. And they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres. You could be walking over a corner and they say, get off my fucking land. It's like, what about you? You haven't walked that bit there all year. I'm just having a little bit of a stroll across it, and what are you worried about?
It's just like his land bit. I just don't believe that. Why have they got it? You know what I mean?
No, there should be a lot more of a right to roam, in my opinion. Absolutely. You know, I really do. But that's my opinion. It's the land should be ours as much as anything else. The idea that everything's fenced in or barbed wired in. You know, you want to save crops and growing crops. You've got to be sensible about these things. You don't want people stomping all over and letting the dogs shit everywhere or whatever they're doing. You've got to be sensible. But at the same time, land, you can't own land like that. I just don't think you can. It's like me going up on the lakes and saying that mountain's mine. I think it's ridiculous. But that's the way that they're rewilding up in the Lake District, is by taking the sheep off there. They're not cutting down all the trees. And my favourite trees are the first ones to come back. Your silver birch and your rowan tree.
Wow,
and then your holly comes back as well. So you've got your low-growing shrubbery and high-growing trees. And the best thing about things like your rowan tree, amazing, the mountain ash as it's called, that grows. Oh, what's happened with that? It flowers, brilliant. Insects suddenly sort of like bloom up, got all around it. The early insects always get in there for the rowan tree. Then the berries come, big, heavy red berries. Blackbirds, thrushes, all the birds come to it. They eat the berries, shit them out all over the hillside. More and more rowan trees. Next thing you know, they bind the soil of the highlands together, of the higher land together. Stop flooding, that kind of thing, and create a great structure then for other foliage to sort of cling to.
Well, that's easy, isn't it?
Bioengineering.
Wow.
Yeah, it happened in I think it was in Yellowstone National Park when they reintroduced the wolf. Because the thing is, the deer were just eating all the. I think we've discussed this before, but the deer were going down to the river, eating all the things by the side of the river, all the plants and trees and everything. The water was flowing too fast, creating floods and things like that. The deer were going up to the higher land as well and eating all the trees and things that could grow. Things were a mess. Introduced the wolf started eating the deer. The deer became stronger as a herd because the sickly older ones and younger ones were kind of being picked off and
more natural rather.
That's it. Yeah. What happened was the trees started growing by the side of the river, created meanders, slowed the water down, and it created a land. And then the beavers came and dammed it as well.
The beavers came? Where did they come from?
Well, there was a reintroduction in some places, but the habitat became beaver-friendly because the water was slow enough for them to actually work there.
They're fucking funny, beavers.
Yeah, they're great, aren't they? You know
fucking brilliant.
We've got something off Yorkshire now. We've got Yorkshire beavers.
No, I've heard of it. I saw that on Springwatch last year. I'm like, the beavers are back.
It.
And I love when they explain it. They work hard though, don't the beavers?
They do. Weirdly, don't they?
They're really
hard. Even lend their name to hard work, don't they?
Beavering about.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, cute, really cute animal, man. One of my favourites when I think about it. They're really fucking funny. Yeah. What's with tail as well? Is it swimming?
Yeah, it's a big old paddle.
Big flipper.
Yeah, it's a big old paddle. If they're all armed or they want to warn each other, the beaver will slap its tail on the water and make a slapping noise. Yeah, that's it.
That's cute. Well, that's smart. mile.
Yeah,
Slapping
water. He's chewing away with his little salt trees and stuff like that.
That's adorable.
You know? And I don't know if you know, like, when the people talk about, they live in dams and stuff. Beavers don't live in dams.
Don't they?
They create dams, and that slows the water, and that creates a big pool.
Yeah.
And that big pool then is like their fish stocks and stuff like that. They'll grow the fish stocks. But the main thing they do in the pool is they'll chew down all the lovely wood, and they hide it underwater in there. And that's what they keep in the cold, lower down waters. That's where they stash the wood that they like to eat. That's what they mainly eat on.
What, they actually eat the wood?
Yeah, they strip the bark. Yeah, they know it, but they know it on purpose.
Ooh, keep it all cool at the bottom of the pool.
That's it. So then they swim down then when they need to get in. They pull water. They live in a lodge. Beavers live in a lodge. And so the only way they can access it at a lodge is underwater. It's like an underwater tunnel.
Oh, wow.
So you have to dive down, get underwater, then you find the hole and climb up into the lodge.
That's it.
And it creates habitats for all sorts of little things like water voles, loads of little creatures will live in there as well with it.
Ratty.
Ratty will live in there, that's it. And then the pools are really good for things like carp and
Mr. Toad.
And Mr. Toad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple of weasels.
Yeah, it might be, if you're lucky, our kid. But sweeping back towards, like say, areas like one of the best things you can do for the Lake District is introduce the lynx. Even I'd say introduce the wolf.
That's it, bring back the beaver.
Yeah, but that's it, we're already doing that.
All right.
It's the thing, a bit rewilding.
It might be a bit extreme with the fucking wolf arcade.
Yeah, but why?
It's going to start fucking chowing down on everything in a fucking wolf running round.
Yeah,
don't know about that.
But the thing is, like,
scary wolves.
Yeah, they are pretty scary. But the thing is with wolves,
they keep away, won't they? I bet.
Yeah, but when you look at the statistics of how many deaths by wolf in sort of countries with wolves, absolutely none. They don't go for people at all. Obviously things like sheep and stuff like that, they're a little bit of a hazard when it comes to that. So I think you're talking the Highlands of Scotland for wolves, really, because the deer populations up there is completely out of control.
I've heard it's that, and they do have to go up and shoot loads.
That's the only way doing it. Yeah, that's it. One thing we now somehow have a friend on our side, the big cat.
Oh shit, that's where we are. Yeah. Rewind.
So the big cat's out there. It looks like they've got the DNA evidence now. So the actual story, which we haven't even read yet, has said that the hair was collected from a sheep attack on a farm in Gloucestershire, right, in 2022. So the DNA methods to sort of ascertain, it says it's a 99.9% match to the leopard species Panthera pardus.
Leopard?
So but that's what the black panther is. It's a leopard. It's a leopard species, a melanistic leopard. That's a proper term for it, right? So they're saying it was the sheep that was reported in the incident, it was a large lamb this time. It was 30 to 40 kilos. There were what looked like 2 canine puncture marks on the skin, so that's what threw them off at first. At the time we thought, well, it could just be a dog worrying sheep and stuff, but we weren't sure. There was wool sprawled across the ground as though some sort of struggle had taken place. We checked the perimeters for access points and there weren't any. Gates weren't open, fences weren't open, there weren't access. Dogs, although they can jump fences, not enough. Especially there's barbed wire involved.
But big cat.
But that's when they saw wool and hair on the barbed wire fence. So this is the site where they've collected it from. Clever. So now we know it's almost dead certain big cats are in the UK. Jesus. Or as they're known in cryptid circles, ABC, Anomalous Big Cats.
Wow.
So that's it, ABC's an hour. Confirmed.
You think... Because it's funny, isn't it? I think if that wildlife, we had to hand over your bloody pets for destruction, if it happened on a day, if it had been staggered, this probably wouldn't have happened, but everybody had to do it at the same time, didn't they?
But I think some people, the kind of person who keeps a panther as a pet is a bit of a free spirit, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's not going to hand over. If you had yourself what would be equivalent animal now, if you had to buy one, like a panther, it cost you probably tens of thousands of pounds. And the idea of just saying, well, I'll give it to government so they can just give it a lethal injection. You're not going to do it.
No, I meant they had to release them into wild, didn't they? On a pretty much in a year, didn't they? Everybody did it at the same time, so you think everything were out there, so they probably met each other out there and had sweet, sweet love. and these are like third.
Oh,
fourth
I see what you mean. That's a very good point. Yeah, yeah.
If it was staggered, they wouldn't have ever found a
Met
mate.
each other. Yeah, I think they probably would have done
eventually,
in one way or another. But I think as well, like I think a tighter licensing at the time would have been a better thing to do rather than just say, right, we're going to do this and then kill it. Yeah,
ain't gonna work. Is it?
But there we are. We'll have to watch the space. We'll have to see what's occurring.
That's it. So proper proof, Arky.
Proof. So there we go. You see, we're not talking bullshit. We've got wildies out there. That's quite good, that last one. Yeah, we'll have that. Or a cough. Yeah, a lot of it's like that's what a lot of big cats. They're sort of like in the dark. That sort of thing. It's like a cough sound for a lot of panthers and things. Yeah, I haven't got a recording of it. Maybe we'll have to find some. But that little thing, that's a bit of a thing that you might get out of them. I don't know about you, Arky, but in fact, no, I do.
I said, don't we know each other?
But do you remember when we used to get the comics?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I used to like comics. But one of my favourite ones, I think, is the same as you, like horror comics. And all that
2000 AD.
Yeah. 2000 AD was a great
fucking
one.
Brilliant.
Loads of those comics. The other ones like Beano and Dandy, that were a good way into things, but they were shit, weren't they?
The absolute shit.
Yeah.
But you got into Scream. Remember Scream?
Scream was one of the best ones, right?
Yeah, man.
But what can you tell me what one of the favourite aspects of a comic book is for you?
Freebie up front.
Was it?
I loved the glow in the dark fangs or a mask or something. I was like a moth
you are like
candle.
That. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you are very much like that. Very easily. Little baggie of heroin.
I'll do anything. Some fucking tricks. Little baggie of heroin.
You're the new edition of Mouthful of Cock magazine, and there you are, a little baggie of heroin. I'm in.
Sign me up. Can't think of it.
Well, shall I tell you what my favourite was?
Yes.
And even now, it's one of these things I marvel at. And it was a little advert.
Oh, yeah, the adverts are great.
Yeah, sending away for things.
Yeah.
So you could go away for like X-ray specs and all these.
I did a real bad one.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I'm reading, I think it was Focus magazine, remember that one?
I do, that were a good one.
They were fucking brilliant, really informative. They had some really good adverts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm there, we're like working night at the docks. Like you do. Yeah. And I saw it and thinking...
Sucking cock.
Basically, just in between punters.
Yeah.
And I saw it says mini hot air balloons. And I'm like, what? I'm reading it, and in my head, I'm thinking I could go to work in one of these. You know what I mean? You could get in it and just fly to work in a little mini hot air balloon. Price were reasonable. I'm thinking, I'm fucking sold here. And then I start thinking about wind and how hard it is to fly an hot air balloon. You have to go one way, can you fly where you want? Then I really read the dimensions. It was just like a fucking Chinese lantern thing.
How old were you?
About 25 or something.
Flying to work in your little eyes.
But when
you waving at everyone and you going back.
Yeah, with me top hat on and that. Good morning.
We're going to fucking park it.
Just tie it up outside, don't railing, just leave it there. Floating about and jump in it and go home. I was telling people everything until someone really pointed it out and maybe, alright.
Do you know what? It's not a bad idea, that though.
It is. It really is.
Did you know that it's just been South Yorkshire has just sanctioned the money now? About 34 million quid they're putting into. We are building airships in South Yorkshire now.
Wow.
Yorkshire's doing it.
Wow.
The big Airlander airships.
You've said this for years, though, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, they're creating 1,500 jobs in the Sheffield area. They're going into production.
Wow,
and they're
that's
going to be
amazing.
making. The great thing about these ones as well, the Airlander that they are doing, is a lot of that is going to be places like third world countries shipping food out, but they're going to make luxury ones.
Oh.
Luxury liners, going your holidays in one, just flying around.
South Pole, going on an adventure to South Pole.
I know. Well, one of my favourite ones actually was, I think it was a North Pole voyage that they did. Yeah. An Italian did it.
Wow.
And it was Amundsen who eventually was fighting with Scott of the Antarctic. He actually flew across in an airship with an Italian sort of like airship pilot, and that adventure was amazing. We'll cover that on the Cove one time. I'd like to do an airship special. And I've been doing a lot of research recently to do an airship.
You always like your airships, aren't you?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's a lot more interesting than people know.
So in Focus magazine again, it did do a bloody thing about the Zeppelins and the future. You know, I got my head around it thinking, my God, that is the future. You know, how heavy, how much stuff you can take with ease anywhere you want. You know?
In the amount of fuel you have to burn to keep airborne is insane. Once you're up there with an airship, you're up there, you're flying. You know what I mean? You don't need to keep pumping on the fuel or powering it forward. Because how fast do you need to get anywhere anyway?
Yeah, just a meander.
Yeah, just get there by eventually. Well, I mean, this is the concept behind dry goods ships. You know, bulk hauliers of the massive ships. Basically, stick a load of Taiwanese sort of like sailors, some poor little guys that ram them on there. Here's a shit tons of Chinese plastic in millions of fucking boxes. Tons and tons, thousands of tons of all this stuff. That's why plastic stuff's so cheap. They just get a rusty old hulk of a ship, put on a few poor people who have almost like slave labour, and then they just float it around the world for about 9 months until it eventually gets there. Travels super, super slowly.
Wow.
But that's that bulk. It's slow. It gets there eventually. It's cheap because it's got there very slowly.
It's got slaves on it.
Yeah, it's got slaves on it. But you don't need to do that in the airship world. You can fill a giant airship, get there within 5, 6, 7 days, perhaps.
Yeah, you won't need that many people, really.
You won't need that many people.
Amazing.
And you get things around, and what a great way of getting food to third world countries, because you don't need a landing strip.
You just drop it straight to the village.
Yeah, they've created these massive inflatable padded cushions beneath airships, so they just land like on a giant mattress to go boom. That's how they land. So you can just land in the scrub, unload hundreds of tons of dry goods and food or seed or machinery or equipment or things to sort of bore holes to bore wells for water. Things like this. You can revolutionise the third world countries with these sorts of things. I don't know. I've wanted one all my life.
Go back to ads, there might be one in there.
Well, the ads we've got here, you see, is what would you expect to buy if you were buying monkeys? Or one of these things.
Sea monkeys!
Yay!
Always one. Never got them. I don't know why I never got them.
No, well, that's the thing. Well, sea monkeys were some of the popular things, but this is by Jake Rosen from Mental Floss, or Jake Rossen from Mental Floss magazine. He says, for comic book readers of the 1960s and beyond, the ads for mail-order items were sometimes just as intriguing as the superhero action they interrupted. X-ray goggles promised to make adolescent clandestine peeping toms. Charles Atlas vowed to turn slightly built kids into muscular powerhouses, and most notably, sea monkeys guaranteed small packets of powder would bring aquatic life to your home. But these turned out to be brine shrimp. That's what sea monkeys were, you know what I mean? But then there was another funny little thing they advertised, which you just don't really know about, right? And it was the squirrel monkey epidemic of of the era. And so for 1895, they said that they would send you a thing called a squirrel monkey.
I think they're real, aren't they?
That's the problem.
Oh no!
Yes. So basically, what was happening, right? So Jeff Tuthill, right, he said, as a kid in the 1970s, Tuthill was reading a Spider-Man comic, one of your favourites, right, and there was an ad for a spider monkey, right, for a squirrel monkey, sorry, and which promised to bring joy to one's household. So to make sure his parents didn't get wise, he had the primate delivered to a friend's house. When he called, I rode my bike over, he said. It came in this little cardboard box. I mean, I'm saying small. It's probably the size of a shoebox, except just a little bit higher. Had a little chicken wire screen window in it, and there was a cutout, and all you could see if you looked in was this little face.
Oh.
So Tuthill carried the monkey home and brought it to his basement, where he expected it to join his menagerie of rabbits and gerbils. But rather than settling in, the monkey began using the plumbing pipes in the cellar as a jungle gym. And when Tuthill grabbed it, the monkey gnawed through his finger like a drill press.
Oh, Jesus.
Razor-sharp little teeth.
Oh, monkey teeth.
So a quick trip to the emergency room saw Tuthill receive 28 stitches. God. He went through his finger and arm, basically like a scalpel.
Oh, dirty monkey teeth.
But The little monkey called Chipper soon fit in with the family. Yeah. So they started, they worked out how to feed it using peanuts and seedless grapes, right, which were appealing. They didn't like bananas, apparently. And Chipper the monkey enjoyed riding the back of the family's border collie, cowboy style.
Brilliant.
So it lived for about 5 years, right? But they thought it might have died of a wasp sting.
Oh.
Because obviously being such a little creature.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's like poison,
yeah,
wasn't it?
just kill it outright, you know.
Oh.
But they're saying apparently did incredibly well looking after a squirrel monkey for like all that kind of time.
Yeah.
Really, really difficult to look after, so it needs an insane amount of care. So to get 5 years out of it, it did really, really well.
Good.
But can you imagine sending off now? You know what I mean?
You're getting a live monkey in post.
Yeah.
What irresponsible bastards are putting it in comic books like
I know.
that?
This is it. It's mad, isn't it? But they're saying that the squirrel monkey's really sort of destructive. That's what it's all known for, you know what I mean? It's one of these things that it says you do not keep them in residence. That's not good. But in the 60s and 70s, squirrel monkey fever took over of the area. And from Peru and Colombia, 173,000 squirrel monkeys were shipped across, sold via private dealers through comic book ads, right?
Oh man, that's out of the wild. You imagine them being bred somewhere, don't you?
This is it, yeah.
Nicking them off trees. That's a scary animal to have in your house.
And in 2014, Tim Tate told NPR about how he and his brother, Tom, sent away for a comic book monkey in the mid-60s. The animal arrived just as their mother's bridge club was getting underway. Tate unboxed the monkey, which had been waiting to defecate while en route to its new home, so it proceeded to jump around, shitting everywhere. Then leap from each of the members of the bridge club while they're all screaming and covered in monkey shit.
Oh, the terror.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't cope with it, crawling about on you now.
I love it. It says, as Tate rushed to contain the monkey, which they named Pepe, it says they were horrified to see their aunt reach her arm in between the bars of the bed where they'd hidden it up there, you know what I mean? So, like, in an attempt to soothe the animal's nerves. It said, where an arm can go in, a monkey can come out, and out comes Pepe. And the monkey believes he's about to get hunted and caught, right? Panics and jumps out. And to escape, bites the first thing in front of his eyes. And what is that? It is my auntie's pendulous breast.
Oh.
The monkey bit the tip.
Oh. Scene from hell.
Then Pepe fled the scene, only to be found dead months later in a nearby forest.
Oh, Pepe.
See, it's just not a good idea, is it?
Imagine the stories. What terror that's actually caused. That's awful.
Just the idea of all those, the introducing 173,000 wild monkeys into a new country where they shouldn't be.
Insane.
What was happening in the 60s and 70s?
Yeah, wildness.
Madness.
Yeah,
it was just all rules are off, wasn't it?
Yeah. God.
I mean, you don't really remember the 70s as much as I do, right? I
Not
remember
really,
a bit of the early 70s, or the late 70s I remember, so I remember a little bit of the late 70s, but when you look at the news and stories and reports of it now, you think, this is fucking Billy Bonk Bonks. It shouldn't have been going on, should it?
It shouldn't, but I kind of like that it were wilder times in a way, you know what I mean? But we shouldn't be doing that with monkeys.
No,
That's really bad,
poor little bastards.
Kidnapped from a country and that, shipped over to some kid. That's so dangerous.
Who's doing all the hunting? Who's this guy?
Yeah.
I imagine like a small game hunter in a little outfit with a little popgun kind of thing, boxing them all
really
up.
good at it. Got some really evil trap for him and that.
Yeah. I think they're probably buying them off local hunters. I think that's what it is. They're sort of encouraging people, hey, you get some of these monkeys, you get a few more of these, I'm going to give you a few pennies per monkey.
Exactly.
And they're just boxing. And how many died on the way
I
over?
know, I was thinking that created over and that. How the hell did they survive it? In just the postal service, is that allowed?
Oh, can you imagine? What a bad day for fucking posties. Oh, more monkeys.
Yeah, even more.
Maybe they just had one dedicated monkey man going around delivering all the monkeys.
They need a drink. I don't get it. I don't know how that happened there.
I don't know what they do actually. Yeah, because
you might be just one of them animals that don't need a drink for 2 weeks or something.
I bet it is. I bet they just don't give a shit.
Yeah,
stick it in a box, ship it out. It might live, it might not. Poor little sod.
Oh no, that is really evil.
Yeah.
Especially you want bread, they'll just nicks. That's
I
really
know.
creepy.
What you need is bread animals.
Yeah, do what you want with them.
Yeah. right? Well, you know, we sort of like have the animals ourselves. Breed them here. It'd be all right.
Yeah.
They're safer, isn't it?
He's safe.
Yeah. Anyway, Texas dairy farm explosion kills 18,000 cows.
Oh, wow. Not safe. Say all that again.
Approximately 18,000 cows were killed in a blast at a Texas dairy farm earlier this week, according to local authorities.
18,000, that's some big animal. Oh, man, 18,000.
So it was a cow, just under a ton. What is it, about half a ton?
Jesus,
So this is, you can safely, let's say it's half a ton. You got yourself 9,000 tons of cow.
Oh, meat just exploding, not just like dying, exploding.
So the thing, what might have happened was...
Methane.
Yeah, well, I reckon it's methane as well. And that the authorities believe that machinery in the facility may have ignited methane gas.
It ran Barter Town. Who runs Barter Town?
Yeah, Master Blaster run Barter Town.
Blaster. Stop.
Right, TV.
I can't help it.
Again. But apparently, across farms, right, just in accidents like this, in fires, between 2018 and 2021 across the US, 3 million animals died in this way.
Wow.
I think what they're saying is it's just basically a massive build-up of methane, one spark, and literally, boom.
My God, how efficient is it then? That's like, is it pure methane gas?
Well, methane, because methane is, I believe it's lighter than air methane.
Yeah.
I think it is, I'm not too sure.
Makes kind of
It's heavy
sense,
gas.
doesn't
Because
it?
if
In a
it's
big
lower
shed.
down, it's building up in the shade and building and building and building, you know what I mean?
And then kind of like cut corners on aircon or something, or sucking it out.
Yeah,
or
well, it's the intensive farming methods as well, where they've got everything in together. It used to be that you just have like herds of, you know, cattle out and about all the time. You know what I mean? And you just
Not
have one
getting
that
pumped
plays
of
music,
steroids
so
and stuff in.
Well, yeah, but these are in sheds now. That
That's what I mean, it's pumped in, yeah.
and it's just not healthy.
They're all just working out and they fucking
Yeah.
on the roids.
Well, they're saying that Mr. Rivera, speaking to local news outlets, KFDA, Sheriff Sal Rivera said that most of the cattle had been lost after the blaze spread to an area in which cows were held after being taken to a milking area, then into a holding pen. But they're saying that what happened is a machine, right, which sucks the manure and water out of the area, called a honey badger.
Oh,
yeah. Got overheated, and that's when it kind of blew up, you know what I mean? But I mean, that, all I can imagine, right, this is the main thing for the story for me. Imagine the sight.
Mate, I'm thinking it's like hell, isn't it, when you look at it? Imagine the ribs and the half the face is missing and...
Well, I want to be at a distance, and if I had a superpower, it would be the ability to know these things were going to happen, right? And I could travel the world, right, with a deck chair on, like, and some popcorn. And say, right, I've got 20 minutes to go. Let's get ourselves set up at a cracker beer arcade.
Wow.
And sit ourselves down and just wait. And then just along in distance, they just do this. Boom! The cow flying into the air, bits of cow.
Magic moves.
I mean, it's just the devastation, because it's awful, but from a distance, you know, it would be quite spectacular.
Sorry, all of it, the mess afterwards, you know what I mean? The mess afterwards. I could go poking around there with this stick going, fucking hours. Hours and hours.
It was moving our kid.
Oh,
Yeah, bring the gun.
finish it. Oh, milk and blood everywhere.
Vile.
Wow, it's apocalyptic through that.
I know,
man. That's
this
really
is it,
fucking...
but that's the thing with it. It's what a way to go. But what would you rather go? I mean, the idea of like another species, you're farming you for me, and they're all going to eat you.
Yeah.
Or they're latching on your big old titties for milk, right? And they're taking my milk away again, right? That or blowing up in a spectacular death. Which one are you going to choose?
I'll just be kind of milked. Sit back, kick back and relax.
Let them latch on and milky.
Oh, yeah. Bit of milky. Why would you want to get blown up?
Yeah, I'd rather blow up than have that.
I'll try escape. I'll get milked a bit and try escape.
What, an escapee cow?
Yeah, that's it. And I'll just go run wild and stay with my panther friends on Mars.
Well, there's a great book. I've got another book recommendation here for you, right? It's by Michel Faber, I believe it is the writer, or Mitchell. I don't know where. I never looked it up, so I don't know if it's a man or woman. The way it's written is a little bit like it's a Frenchman, but I don't know if it is. I think that might be a female author. But it's called Under the Skin.
Right.
Now, it's also a sci-fi movie as well at the same time as this, and I've not seen the film, but it's a friend of mine, Andy. It's his favourite movie, one of his favourite movies. He's seen it about 8 times. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But the book is really good.
Yeah.
And it's a woman, I won't give you the full thing away, but it's basically a woman who is driving the roads of Scotland, the Highlands of Scotland, you know what I mean, really remote areas, picking up hitchhikers.
Yeah.
And
Is she an alien?
Yeah.
It's got Scarlett Johansson in it, hasn't it?
in the movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really, really rudy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be proper rudy.
Well, I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, I do. I really like Scarlett Johansson as well.
But so, she's in that.
Ah, right.
But the book, I'm recommending the book.
Is it? It's
the book
good.
is brilliant, yeah.
Wow.
It's really well written. I mean, I'm still on a bit of a sci-fi jag at the moment.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean? So it's a brilliant book.
Oh, nice.
Really, really good. So that's something I've read recently. Highly recommend. Another big recommendation. I thought I'd read it. I haven't read it. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, it's in it.
What a fucking book.
Yeah, I read it years ago. Like, I mean, a long.
Yeah, so really, really good. They're my 2 recommendations for that. You know
but
what I mean?
it's spiritual, isn't it?
Yeah.
2000.
But the book under the skin sort of thing, it's there. There is an escapee in that, and it's the idea of something that you just cannot escape, as in sort of like how you look, what you look like. You know what I mean? You know, it's. I don't know. It's just something like being able to get away and stay away. You know, you're just going to get caught.
Yeah,
you know?
nearly immediately.
Yeah, but which kind of gets me about with Black Panther. It shows that it's sort of like the ingenious resourcefulness of this particular feline that can escape and stay away from.
Slink about and not be spotted at all.
Whereas we blunder over the horizon and quickly hauled in, sort of thing. You know, it's one of those things. So it's like but it's. You escaping as a cow. You're not going to stay away unless people take pity on you, like those. I forgot what the name of those pigs. A couple of pigs escaped, didn't they? Very famously. Tamworth.
Oh yeah, there were a couple of pigs. Yeah.
So a couple of those escaped.
I can do adorable. I've got it in the bag.
Can you imagine? I can see that as well. For the simple reason, like the idea, like if you're going to have a job and it just says mascot, something like that.
I'll be good at it.
Be the pet and wheeling out, putting a little outfit and make you parade up and down a little bit, and you happily do it like
exactly.
that. And then you go back.
It's the happiness that comes out.
Yeah, then you put you back in a little area where you get your wee golf and all your snacks and stuff, and throw peanuts at you, and you're waving at all the kids a bit, and you don't care. The big, look at his bath, and you don't do it.
It's bath time for Benny's.
Look at how he's playing with his doodle. Oh, look away, kids. Oh, he's flinging it in the glass again.
Give it a go. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's it. So you've chosen the life of being a mascot.
You've chosen it for me, haven't you? Like, really?
And being fed all sorts of things. Whereas I've chosen to explode with all the other cows. There's a lot of hours
There's a big major differences in life.
So let's move quickly away.
He did it though. That was subconscious.
Fucking hell. Away from the scenes of animals and things like this.
Yes.
Right, you know, and let's move towards LARPers.
LARPers?
Do you know what a LARPer is?
Nope.
Live action role playing.
Wow.
Right, and this is basically guys who get dressed up in weird little necromancer and sort of like swordsmith outfits.
So back in the day, like, what was that fart thing we saw with like, rubber arrows and stuff like that, and the old bang swords and shit, you know, recreating my battle.
Oh, I know what you mean, Seal Knot Society.
Yeah, that's
sort of
it.
Yeah. Well, I suppose they're weird where they kind of are on a massive scale.
Yeah.
This is on a bit more of a shit scale, isn't this is where people who sort of like think that they are playing these little role-playing games. I don't know if you've ever seen this sort of thing.
I think I've seen it one time. I've seen it on telly a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've seen it in real life. It was a mate of mine used to run his own nightclub. I think it was on a Sunday night. I'm not sure. There was a particular night, and it'd allow the LARPers in. Now, I was always thirsty for a drink.
Yeah.
So what I'd do is I'd go down with mate. He'd open the club, and I'd say, right, okay, I'm here. Then we'll go for a few beers and stuff, sit around having a laugh, right? And they wouldn't let the general public in. Because that was their night, right?
The shame of it.
Yeah.
Hide your shame.
Yeah, so we'd just sit around having a beer, quietly laughing at these goons, right? And what they'd be doing is, there'd be somebody, almost like a dungeon master kind of character.
Right loud nerd.
Yeah, right. So it's super nerdy.
Yeah.
And then they'd all be kind of pretending to be drinking in a bar as normal, right, or something like this. Then suddenly somebody would step onto this sort of dance floor area. And one would suddenly do this mad move and throw his arms around. Then all of them throw his arms around. Then he'd do like a whistle would blow or something. And then everyone would stop what they were doing, and they'd all count up points and add things up, and something had actually happened. It was almost like they were making create a little board game, but with themselves. So somebody had moved and done something, and he'd cast some sort of spell. The other one had drawn some weird homemade gun or something.
What the fuck? Is it like Dungeons and Dragons? Are they like there and they're taking turns and moves?
They're kind of like that, yeah. So there's all
sense.
scenarios. So then they'd all start again, so they'd all stand around again, and then something else would happen, and then maybe 30 seconds later something else would occur. But they're all waiting for it to happen because it was their turn to do something. It was all very fucking complicated and convoluted. So they're all wearing mad homemade outfits as well, which is even better.
What like?
Well,
Dungeon Mastery type shit.
No, a lot of this stuff was a bit like cyberpunky. So they're all wearing homemade like sponge computer things on their arms, on their heads and things or whatever. They're all wearing a lot of black trench coats.
Yeah,
out, right?
they've got it, hasn't they? Yeah.
All this sort of shit, right? Homemade guns, sort of thing, but like laser weaponry kind of thing going on.
Shit.
And imagine a load of beers and watching this shit go down.
Great, that's
fun.
wild.
You could ticket the event.
Yeah, man.
It was all very well and good until it all got a bit too excited and they all went outside and started doing it, right? And this is the mean streets of Bradford.
Oh, God.
And then all police turned up because they saw people in trench coats running around pretending to shoot each other.
Oh, the fucking idiots.
Yeah. Well, the issue you've got is, I mean, they're all really quite nice people, I suppose, in a weird way, are your LARPers. But they are, how can I put it nicely? They are living in a complete fictitious made-up world.
Yeah.
And I think it drips too, it eases too deeply.
It's on a
into the
razor edge.
Yeah, this is it, you know what I mean? So what's happened here, this is in America, as usual. So these LARPers or live action role players have stumbled across a dead body when they're out and about doing this, right? Apparently, it looks like it might have been in Canada. I don't know where it is. It's basically in America, right? So they're all in the front of little costumes, all ready to rock and roll, right? You know, and they stumble across a dead body, right? And this is what ensued.
We were in the middle of our tournament when my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there. I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head. So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't. And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
If the kind of lesbian, a necromancer, I knew John's magic wouldn't work.
God, he's an absolute pussy.
What was the glitter? Was it like casting glitter on it or something?
That's what they have. They have things like this like to show they're casting a spell.
That's mad. That's so mad.
Do you want to have a little look at this dude?
Yeah, but thing is, you find a dead body, you don't just start fucking about it. It's a really disturbing moment, isn't it?
That's it.
Jesus.
Right.
I can see him already, Arkin, I swear. Is he fat? He got a tash? No, he's got a beard. Yeah, exactly. Look at his fucking chainmail and his glasses all titted up. Whoa,
Absolute fucking turnip.
That's
I mean, to be fair, you crack on with it. Enjoy yourself. But that shows how far they've lost the plot. When we contaminated the crime scene.
It's missing her head. Obvious murder victim as well. It's like nearly poking fun of it in a way, isn't it?
I disagree. I disagree. They weren't poking fun at the body in that. They were so far immersed in their own crazy little world. They'd lost the plot that far.
Fuck, that's a long way to go, Arcade. You reckon? It's really far.
Yeah, but I think I'm of the opinion there's a lot of people who find the real world. That's the tricky place. That's the place which isn't going their way or anything like that. So when they immerse themselves, I mean, look at people who game for like, you know, I don't know, fucking days on end sort of thing. Look at you,
I'm pro! I'm fucking pro!
But this is the thing, he's stepping out of reality for a good while, you know. Yeah. But some people, I think there's an active choice sometimes with people where they'll say, I am not taking part in the real world, or the minimum amount.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to do, you know, and I have to say, I mean, I don't want to sound awful, but I actually see a lot. The main reason is because I do a lot of fairs and markets and things, and I'm out and about, right? And I'm going to put this. I'm exposed to quite a lot of people that want to give me crystal healing. There's a lot of women, and it is women. There's a lot of women out there with big bits of purple stone or glass, and they think that this is going to do something. And I don't think it is. The only time I've ever seen it in action is when there's really lovely couple of girls who were working at a fair I was at, and a big storm was coming in. It was an overnight fair, so you leave all your stuff set up, you know what I mean? And that's what you do. You batten down the hatches, you weigh it all down, you come back next day, and you sort of start again. They didn't like gazebos and things. These two girls were in this absolute Mickey Mouse, almost like paper thin, shabby little gazebo. They have no weights to hold it
Those
down.
princess things you can get for your bed.
No, it's like one of them. It's like they were selling crystals and stones out of this, right? And I battened all my stuff down, made sure everything was safe and secure overnight, because this is my living, you know. I mean, it's like, you know, apart from running a lighthouse, obviously. And these girls just put a little piece of fucking plastic sort of like over the all the jewels and crystals and amulets and things, right? And they put this sort of sellotaped a bit of plastic over that, dusted off and off the went, and all I go, and
lady,
everybody knew. We were all saying, we're going, right, why don't we arrive a little bit early in the morning to pick up all their crystals for them? Because it's just going to be everywhere.
Oh, bless you.
Right, and we arrived next day, and it was pandemonium. There was like people's gazebos were tipped over, there was stuff missing, everything. Their wasn't fucking touched.
No, it's funny because it's. I'm gonna have to go all this one, Arky.
Here we go.
I was listening to Coast to Coast, and I don't really listen to it much anymore.
Yeah.
And he had like a guest speaker on it, and it basically he's going back years. He's going, God, guys, it's working. This stuff is working. Let's keep going at it. 2 years ago, they were having this massive drought in a certain part of America. They're all to do with the Great Lakes up in the mountains, not getting enough snow. Snow melts, goes into the lakes feeds all the water down into croplands below.
Yeah.
And it had all basically buggered up. The whole system's gone. Global warming, I don't know what the fuck it is. They're not getting snow. So he's saying, look, this is a major incident. We've got to do a bit of collective kind of thinking here, guys. You know what I mean? Every week when we do Coast to Coast, we've got to do a little bit of like make it snow kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was 2 years later. You know, he's kind of coming on saying, wow, my God, this is just so crazy. We didn't have state. We're all... It were impossible, and we've done the impossible. The snow's coming. It's kind of come a little bit too much. And he's laughing about it, saying that everything's working fine. And there'll be a little bit too much snow. We should like steady
Stop praying, guys.
Yeah, kind of. And then ever since then, I keep seeing all this stuff on like California's never had snow before, and all this sort of stuff. And it's like he's getting to this like critical stage. You think, I wonder if those people's thinkings, the collective consciousness, has actually done something here, you know what I mean, with snow. Or just the little hippy-dippy crystal girl, just like the innocence to him and the power of the crystal.
Well, weirdly enough, I do actually have an answer for that.
Yeah?
It's bullshit.
I don't know. I think people's minds, I don't know. I think the power of them. I know it sounds shit. Fucking look at me like that.
You feather in.
There's many snow. There's too much snow. There's too much snow. There's snow in California.
There is, yeah. But the thing is, as well, it's like analysing anything, right? Where you sort of see, where you see sort of like cause and effects, for example. Right? So there's cause and effects for everything, as we well know, right? And just because you see correlation in one sort of set of data,
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that's correlation affects the other set of data. So, for example, loads of people like, thoughts and prayers when there's gun violence and
Yes.
nothing happens.
Yes.
So it's thoughts and prayers for snow,
Yeah.
and then snow happens.
Well, gun crime's a little bit more complicated than snow. You know what I mean?
Is it?
You've got like the human element with snow. It's like an element. Boo. I rest my case.
Well, that's me putting the notice step in it again. I feel like I'm jumping.
And you should. It's just a bit easier. He's snowing it.
What? To make it snow than to put guns away?
Yeah, it's lots easier to make snow.
With your mind?
Yep. Makes sense though, doesn't it? I'm not going to get into it, he's just going to laugh at me, but I just think it's more of a simple thing, loads of people thinking about snow than a fucking gun crime, and that's well complicated.
Do you remember on about doing things for clips?
Yeah.
Right, we're at 1 minute.
Fucking do it.
This shit's going.
I mean it, I'm absolutely fucking mean it.
I'll send you it later, Aki.
I've heard weird shit with it, that's all.
Hey, I've just heard weird shit as well. By your mouth.
Oh, look at that hurts.
So, as I was saying before about some people who are sort of like lost in some strange world,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, fantasy world. I kind of rest our case, my case, Aki.
You might be there. Well, that's the difference between you and I. That's it.
Let it snow, let it snow.
That's it, it's got a tune and everything for it.
Wedding arcade.
Oh, I like a wedding.
I like a wedding as well.
Especially when it's
right?
an all day, you know what I mean? Or you're staying over, you know what I mean? I like that.
Well, that's the thing. I kind of like that sort of thing as well. So it's like this is a wedding between Samantha Miller, 34, and she married a long-time love, Eric Hutchinson.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I thought it's a lovely little wedding. Is this one, right? So big ceremony. I mean, really really ornate, really lovely. Loads of lovely photographs I've seen of it as well online and that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? And then what I always like, and I always think it's a lot of fun, is when you leave the wedding in like a fun vehicle of some sort.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's always fun, right?
Yeah.
And they did a little golf cart.
Oh, that's cute.
That's pretty cute. Isn't it? I like that.
Can the dress fit in it though? You'd be dragging
Well,
up
that's
floor.
what kind of fun they sort of
Yeah.
got in, but they got everything in all right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So they all just sort of crammed in all right, and everyone's waving, having laughing, that sort of pull away. Bye,
Beep,
bye. Then a drunk driver called Jamie Lee Komorski's rental car, right, ploughed into them at 65 miles an hour.
Oh God, you got no protection at all. Just a bit of crushed up
Nothing.
plastic.
Imagine that. Though. Again, as we said about the exploding cows, imagine the scenes. Just everybody you know's there. Everybody's waving you off. Bye-bye.
I can see her hand, you know, with glitting diamond, a pool of blood round it.
That's very Columbo. But the speed limit on this particular island right near Charleston is 25 miles an hour. So this guy was doing 40 miles an hour. Oh no, it wasn't a guy. It's a woman, Jamie Lee Komorski.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Komorski. So she's a young woman who was doing
Asshole,
this.
doing 40.
Absolutely. No, doing 65.
Jesus.
She was absolutely arseholed. Really was. A shit face.
Are they dead?
She's dead. She's dead. He's in critical illness. Brain injury, broken bone. Oh, she's dead.
Oh,
She's dead.
what about driver? Is she dead?
No.
They never die, do they? I'll tell you, being pissed
Yeah, but
up has
she's in
it.
a fucking rental car.
Oh,
They're in a golf car.
See the science there. I got that
How
bit.
come Bowser always survives? Yeah, so that's it. She faces up to 25 years in prison. And I'm honest, fucking chuck the book.
It is, yeah, absolutely. Chuck the book, throw away the keys.
Yeah, because drunk driving to me is such a big
I tell you, I think it's still a big thing in the States. It's not, you know, like here, it's very frowned upon, and it's saying that when you go past pub, there's all cars in pub.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
That always stinks, does that. But one thing is, in America, you see, it's because, like, you see, you'll have the bar. Oh, well, I've got the pub.
Yeah.
You don't have a pub around the corner.
Yeah.
You have a bar, which is your local bar's like 8, 9, 10 miles down
It's
the
like
road.
Roadhouse.
Isn't it? On telly. Yeah, it's just like that. It's like Roadhouse, like it.
But no, I think it's a lot more over there.
And that's what it is.
fucking
It's you
scary.
drive to the
What
pub.
was she up to then? She's on a little island driving them out pistol.
Yeah,
Big
she
day.
was.
Fucking
Well,
hell.
it sounds like she's the kind of girl who's out with. I think she was on a holiday over there. That's
Yeah.
where she's in a rental car. She's basically driven to the pub, same sort of thing. Just had a shit ton of fucking boozes and cocktails and whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
triple speed limit on way up.
Yeah, I'll just floor it on the way on. Whee! Next thing you know, she's buzzing along at high speed and a fucking golf cart with a wedding in it.
That's that bit where everybody watching it, then that noise, and then that explosion, and they all run over. Oh, God.
What'll get me is in the car, right? Because it'll take an ages for a fucking halt, won't it?
Yeah.
You know, everyone's going, and it's that sound where you've either got radio on still,
Yeah.
or you're in the ticking engine.
Yeah.
And you're there going, what the fuck just happened there? Then you look back, full fucking wedding lynch mob coming at you.
Oh, God, it will be an
Ah,
all.
yeah,
They'll
you
be
would,
dragging
yeah.
you out, won't they?
Bride all over the floor, fucking golf cart in absolute wreck. You know, Chad's there fucking twitching away on the fucking roadside.
Jesus,
Family
that is
screaming.
so
You're
bad.
sat there thinking, I've had a skinful.
Yeah. Father at Brad's like, I have spent a fortune. Someone thought it though, didn't they?
There will have been a fucking stoned brother-in-law somewhere.
Yeah.
No one, that's how good. Holy shit, look at this fucking hell. Reaching for the phone.
The gifts! Oh man, poor bastards. Life's just fucking wow.
Yeah, you can't take it for granted, Arky.
I won't be doing out dumb like, saying that you're on a little island, I'm getting a golf bun in a little island, you know what I mean? I'll give it a go. Oh, it's fucking tragic.
You're getting the golf bug in your head all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's how you get around.
In my head, yeah.
But to
Love
be
it.
fair, there's more golf buggies and less fucking cars. There will be a happier place.
It would be a happier place, I'd be happy.
Can you imagine now? Just you look at all the most of your trips that you take,
Yeah.
working back and everything. Like that.
Yeah.
You can do it in a golf buggy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a little canopy over it.
Little electric
little-
golf buggy.
Yeah, a little heater just to keep you warm.
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
radio. buzzing
Oh,
around.
little radio.
Yeah, a little radio.
That's
and
brilliant.
It's nothing digital.
Yeah.
You've got to tune it in still.
Yeah. Bring back the good old times when golf buggies ruled this land, Aki.
Yeah. Fucking hell. I can't get in a LARP.
Just before you do the last one.
Oh, shit.
I mean, he's been bothering me this season. I thought I could easily Google it. And I thought I'm not gonna. Because I started thinking, give it a little bit. I've been thinking about it for a week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, right. So let me just set the stage here. So you've had an idea, you've thought of something, right?
Thought of something. You know when
Right.
you're just eating something, you think, wait a fucking minute. Why haven't I ever seen what I'm eating? You know what I mean? I know that it lives in the sea.
What's the name?
So I'm eating this shellfish. I think it's a fucking shellfish. I don't know what it is. I'm eating it all the time. Eat it at Christmas. Never seen it. Never seen it swimming in the sea. Don't know if it's got a shell in it. I don't know what the fuck it is. What's scampi,
I
Arky?
was just about to tell you what scampi was then.
Why haven't I seen scampi? They don't on prawns or something like that. You'll show prawn on the pack. They don't put it on the packet. These must be ugly fucking fish.
Scampi isn't a species.
Oh,
He's just like a prawn tail.
is it? Go on, keep talking. It's a prawn's tail.
Yeah.
Scampi. So scampi's a prawn.
Scampi's a prawn, yeah.
Why do they got fucking prawns then?
I don't know. To be fair.
It tastes a little bit different. I'm eating it thinking, yeah, it tastes pretty much like a prawn.
But
But
tell you what, you've asked the question. This is fair dues now.
Yeah.
So you've asked the question, right? And I must admit, I've thought, my knowledge was that it's not. Well, I've had no opportunity.
Well, you know fucking everything. Apparently. You don't know what fucking scampi is.
Right. If I had to say one way or the other, right? Because crayfish tails are sort of that sort of thing. It's freshwater food, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scampi is seafood.
Yeah.
So it's from the sea.
Aye.
Right. I'd be saying something either lagostine, which is a big prawn, or it's of the prawn species, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's like a prawn tail, that kind of thing.
I think it's an ugly fucking fish.
Right. So now I'm going to Google it.
Yeah.
Right. Fire up the Kraken Cove search engine. Right, are you ready? Are you looking it up?
Well, I put, what the fuck is scampi?
So, scampi, Nephrops norvegicus, right? So it's an actual species.
Alright.
Is called the Norway lobster. Norwegian lobster or lagostine.
Oh,
So,
I've got that, yeah.
Yeah.
The French call it that, Arkid, I think.
Oh, dear. Also known as Dublin Bay prawn.
Yeah.
So basically, Nephrops, as it is known, is a big prawn or lagostine.
Well, it's closer to a small lobster on mine. It says a Dublin Bay prawn and closer to a small lobster than a shrimp or a prawn.
Okay.
Mmm.
Well, tell you what, because I've said langostine as well, right?
Yeah.
I'll just let you have it.
Interesting though, isn't it? You can be gobbling something all that time. I still say it's an ugly motherfucker. I'm gonna look at a picture of that.
There it is.
Whoa! No, it's not that bad.
Tell you what though, do you have a top end limit to how much you could eat
What do you mean? As
of
in...
scampi?
Well, I was eating the other day and I undercooked it a little bit and it was a bit...
Oh,
You know, it's really cold inside and that. And I got a lot, fucking hell, you know what? I'm like, kind of spoiled it a bit for scampi.
no wonder you can fucking die.
It wasn't cold. It was just a bit soggy, you know what I mean? And I didn't have any tartar sauce, so I had
Fuck that.
Exactly.
Or lemon.
I had lemon and vinegar on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it. But I know what you mean by it's like calamari or some bits like that. I could just keep popping it in all day long. Just, yeah.
I'm like with scampi, I think.
Like peanuts, couldn't you? You could like that.
Peanuts.
I don't. Oh, I don't want to get into this. Well, years ago, right, I was eating peanuts, and our lass said to me, "Oh, peanuts make you fat." I'm like, give up, you know what I mean? Went to bed that night, explosive. I'm not a right fatty person, you know what I mean?
I'm not.
But man, I ain't eaten peanuts for ages, and I did like a full bag of salt and vinegar peanuts the other day. And no farts I don't know, through the night, but I woke up in the morning, and when I went to the toilet, my God, it was like a gone. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like... BB! It was bad, it tore me apart, honestly.
And that's why I can't eat them.
It'll make you fat. By the way,
it was chocolate peanuts. I went on a massive chocolate peanut craze for a while, and I thought, oh, I'm really loving these. Suddenly I thought, fucking, if there's like somebody with a bicycle pump up my ass. I was blowing up bigger.
Yeah.
I like Augustus glue. I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What the fuck is going on here? What's happening? I couldn't move. I had to do the trousers.
Yeah.
I had to go fucking put joggers on.
Wow.
I thought, I'm getting bigger and bigger.
Oh,
I thought, what the fuck is going on? And then it started.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It was like tearing cardboard.
That's what I mean. I thought I'd ripped it. I proper thought I ripped it one bit.
Could not stop.
Yeah.
Massive blast.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm off the peanuts.
I'm off the peanuts. I can't handle it. It would proper hurt me that next morning. I thought, nah, you know what? They're nice. Not going to go back.
And there we go for your little dedication, your little addition to Crack
Bring
and Go.
something to the table, Aggie.
Farts and Scampi.
The mystery is solved. Thank me later, listeners.
Well, we'll just roll straight on to being well arcade.
Is it that time already?
Oh, fuck, it is well past, to be honest. Yeah, it's a late one.
No, I've enjoyed that. I missed the Cove, and he did that.
What I'm gonna end on something which isn't particularly a mystery, but potentially could be.
Ooh.
But it's I think it's possibly one of the coolest names I've ever heard for Kraken Cove. Well, going on, a guy called Victor Noir.
Isn't that Bob Vic Reeves?
No, that's Jim Wire.
All right.
Yeah, on Wow. Yeah, Jim Moyer. I don't know. Yeah, but this is. I suppose it's a mix
Victor Noir.
Victor Noir.
That's
right?
very good.
And Victor Noir was a French journalist, right? And was shot and killed by Prince Pierre Bonaparte, a cousin of French Emperor Napoleon III. Wow. And Noir became a symbol of opposition to the imperial regime, right?
Yeah.
Now, in December 1869, a dispute broke out between two Corsican newspapers, the radical La Revanche, inspired from afar by Grosset, and the loyalist L'Avenir de Corse, edited by an agent of the Ministry of the Interior named Della Rocca. Now, I think there's a bit of the invective or the nastiness of La Revanche concentrated on Napoleon I. So there's a bit of a to and fro between these sort of things, talk about Napoleon and so So Prince Napoleon Bonaparte, Prince Bonaparte, right, he castigated the La Revanche as cowards and traitors for writing against his relative, Napoleon I.
Right.
Right. And so on 9th of January 1870, Prince Bonaparte wrote a letter to Rochefort claiming to uphold the good name of his family. It says, after having outraged each of my relations, you insult me with the pen of one of your menials. So it's basically sort of saying, like, you know, one of your reporters has been writing about my family. How dare you have one of your... You should, even if it should have been you, the editor, at least writing. But no, you don't want your menials to write about it. Slag us off, you know what I mean? My turn had to come. Only I have an advantage over others of my name, of being a private individual while being a Bonaparte. I therefore ask you whether your ink pot is guaranteed by your breast. I live not in a palace, but at 59 Rue d'Atoile. I promise you that if you present yourselves, you will not be told that I left. Basically, he's having them a duel.
Whoa, is it on?
Yes, it's on, right?
Yeah.
So basically on the following day, Grosset sent Victor Noir and Ulrich de Fonville as his seconds to fix the terms of a duel with Pierre Bonaparte. Contrary to custom, they presented themselves to Prince Bonaparte instead of contacting his seconds. So what you have a second. So for example, of me and you were having a duel. I would have two people as my sort of like representatives. So would you.
Right.
My representatives would talk to your representatives.
Nice.
They would sort the thing out, and then we would turn up at the field of battle.
Wow, choose your weapons and all that bit.
All that, exactly, yeah. So they turned up on the day, but each of them actually had a revolver in their pockets. Noir and de Fonville presented Prince Bonaparte with a letter signed by Grosset, but the prince declined the challenge.
Oh.
So Bonaparte had already said, like, if you come, I will do this, right? They said, all right, they turned up on the door and they sort of said, right, okay. Well, no, we're up for it, you know what I mean? He's back down, right?
So he went there and said, I don't want a duel. Why did he go?
Oh, well, that's the thing. Well, no, because he's up to pomp and circumstance, being fluffery, trying to be all brave and that. Trying to have a duel. And when they actually stood to the occasion, say, all right, we'll have a duel. Bonaparte back down.
Oh, Bonaparte.
Bonaparte back down. Bonaparte's arse fell out, right? Right, so according to Fonville, Noir asserted his solidarity with his friends. So Victor Noir basically said, like, you know, I'm with them, they're my people. You're, you know, I'm sticking with these people. You're obviously. I don't think he called him a coward, but he basically sort of said, like, you know, look. So the prince declined the challenge of the duel, asserting his willingness to fight his fellow nobleman Rochefort, but not his menials, as in Noir and Fonville, who turned up. Right, he says, I won't fight you two, I'll fight him.
All right.
But he called them menials, so they didn't like being called menials. So I think they sort of said, we'll have none of that, right? Anyway, they reckon then that Bonaparte reckoned that actually Noir pulled his pistol. He didn't.
Oh.
He didn't. Basically, what happened?
He tricked.
So they had a what's his name? They had a bit of a tete-a-tete there. Something went on, right? Anyway, basically Bonaparte pulled his pistol, shot Victor Noir dead on the spot.
Oh, that's
Right.
well tight.
So, but eventually it went to court and all sorts of bits and bats went on. But I think Bonaparte really got away with it. He
That's disgusting. Yeah. Calling a duel, bottling duels, and pulling your pistol, and not
shooting
even,
the guy who turned up to sort of like get it on,
and to not do it by the rules.
Yeah, this is it. So it's like, but a strange thing occurred with the death of Victor Noir.
Mm-hmm.
When he was eventually buried in the Père Lachaise cemetery, right? People kind of got a little bit of a sight of Victor Noir and thought, right?
Mm-hmm. A dead one, and they thought,
because of his grave. Now, as you can see, one thing of his grave, excuse the rustling, listeners, but that is Victor Noir's face. Now, as you can see, his face is sort of like it's been rubbed a little bit.
Looks French, doesn't it?
Looks
Big
French,
blubbery lips.
But big blubbery lips. But, well, people seem quite sensual.
Yeah, big blubbery lips.
And the actual body is as he fell dead. That is an exact reproduction of how he fell dead after being shot. Now,
it's like that dog in Edinburgh where they're rubbing his sensual lips for good look.
That's it, that's what they're doing.
And
they're rubbing his
nose.
beautiful lips for good look and sort of thing. Essentially, his face is good look.
Mm-hmm.
And but because he's sort of shot dead, he's seen as a martyr as well against like sort of like the poshos, the princes, So even though
a victim of the fucking establishment.
Yeah,
type
that's
of
it. So he's seen as a hero.
Yeah.
But there's not just that aspect of Victor Noir.
Is it like that dog in Scotland again? Have they been rubbing his doodle like it?
This seems to be quite a popular aspect of Victor Noir.
Jesus, you can see his... Can you see his cock? Is that his belly?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So
They've got him
basically,
packing?
The thing that's unusual about Victor Noir's corpse and the bronze sculpture of him on his coffin is the fact that you can very distinctly see through his trousers the shape of his genitalia. But the other side of things as well is that with Victor Noir being as he is and being so popular, being seen such a hero, people are seeing it as a sign of fertility. Now, women are actually sort of thinking they're actually kissing his face, kissing his lips, they're leaving flowers by his hat or on his tomb. And they're also finding that if they climb aboard and have a little bit of a rub on it.
My God, there's a proper bump where that would actually work. We're scissoring it like hell. Is this woman with suzies and suspenders on?
So basically, the picture I'm showing Benny Boy is a very attractive young lady. Climbed aboard Victor Noir.
Jeez,
and he's frotting herself. Is
that the word for it?
Frotting is the rubbing of genitalia.
Because dudes can do frotting, can't they?
If they like. But they're saying it increases fertility. Women are falling pregnant after climbing aboard Victor Noir. Because I think it's getting more fizzed and in the mood. And there's a little bit of dark gothicness about it. So these women kind of
herpes.
I'd be wet wiping that down before I climbed aboard if I was that young lady.
It's funny though, because he's got shot and laid down, they've made a replica of his body. There must have been like halfway through it thinking, let's do a replica of this to say, fucking hell, he's in cock and that. His proper bumpy cock sticking out even when he's dead, and then putting it into statue.
I sometimes think though that things like that are occasionally done on purpose, perhaps to accentuate the virility of the sort of like the movement of the time, to say like, in death you can wipe us out but we will live on. Perhaps to accentuate genitalia a little bit on a statue in that way might be to say like, can't keep us down.
That's good. That's good. I'm touching my nose and pointing.
Give it a rub, it might go all shiny, our kid.
Normally does, our kid.
Well, I think it's time for us now to leave the cove of the looking over the sea, get back up to the lighthouse, make sure everything's fine, make sure we haven't got Robo Pete up there doing something awful with his shaved genitalia.
Nice.
But it's glad to be back, so we're going to try and be back as much as possible. We've got a little plan to do things to sort of try and keep ourselves a little bit more constant. Because while I'm working to the level I'm working at the moment, it's difficult to keep.
Especially bank holidays, innit?
Yeah, extra days for me to be out and about, sort of selling the wares, you know. So, but we're going to do our best. We're going to keep going. We're not sort of giving up on everything. But all that's left for me to say now is a big bye-bye from Matt.
It's a bigger bye-bye from Benny. Take care, guys. Serious?
There are 3 ways you may contact Kraken Cove. Either by email at krakencovepodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter at Kraken Cove, or Instagram at Kraken Cove Pod. Ha ha!